obviously a play in Bernie Berry's playbook, the reverse to the split end, Jeff Gregory.
And they're spreading the running game out between Gregory, Berger, and Williams, trying to keep Bellevue off balance. And so far, Berger has 31 yards, 5 carries, and Williams 72 yards on 9 carries. That's a pretty good job of spreading it out.
Absolutely. Let's see what Berger and Bomer do on second down. It's going to be a fake reverse this time. Bomer keeps it along the right side. He has the option to run, but it's going to fire it downfield to Todd Best. Best, it's going to be picked up by Ferguson. Ferguson took it at the 45-yard line. He's inside the 50. He's going to run around the right side. Ferguson's a very fine football player, but he's not going to score this time. He'll get down to the 31-yard line. So a return on the play of 18 yards as Ferguson picked off the pass thrown by Matt Bomer. We're going to see this one on the instant replay. And Dave, just good defensive position that time by Bob Ferguson. He's an offensive receiver and a defensive safety.
Ferguson played him well. He hung with the receiver, played back, and when the ball was up in the air, he moved in for the kill. Got it. Good return also.
Absolutely was. Gave Bellevue the football at their own 32-yard line. And I'll tell you what, Dave, Bellevue is in this football game, even though they don't have any points on the scoreboard. Right now it's 14-0 Beechwood. Bellevue has shown a lot of spark in this football game. They want to pull one of the upsets of the year. Rowe is back to pass. Now he's going to be forced out of the pocket, fires it towards Veach. Veach is going to be hammered, and I mean hammered. That might have been the hit of the year, and Veach just walks up and shrugs it off. I'll tell you what, that was some kind of hit by Rob Bacigalupo, and Dave, this is going to be some kind of defensive hit.
He did a good job of concentration on this one. I don't know if he heard footsteps or not, but he went for the ball, and as he was turning around, bam, look. He had the ball on the fingertips, and he didn't lose it till it was hit.
I'll tell you what, Bacigalupo came up with some sort of defensive play there. He actually lifted Veach off his feet and drove him to the ground, and that's the way you're supposed to tackle people. 2:22 left in the first half. The handoff goes up the middle, and just about 2 yards for the ball carrier there. Appeared to be Chris Hoop on the carry. And Hoop tackled again by Bacigalupo, and I'll tell you what, Rob Bacigalupo, a 6 foot, 185-pound senior, is a very fine defensive player, and right now has made the majority of the tackles for the Beechwood Tigers. It's now 3rd and 9.
Big play here now for Bellevue. They got a break on the interception. They got to force something out of it.
Rowe is going to be back to pass. He's looking to set up the screen to Chris Hoop. Now fires it downfield towards Hoop. Hoop makes a great catch, but it's not going to be enough room for the first down, or it's going to be very, very close. Tackle made back there. Jeff Gregory in on the tackle as well. Doug Paul. We're going to see this one on the instant replay. This was a screen play designed all the way to Chris Hoop, but Hoop wasn't open at the very beginning.
No, he wasn't. This was a good pass. He had to drill it past a receiver and in front of another one. Awfully close, and he got it for a first down. That was a well-executed play.
Sure was. So Chris Hoop picks up the 9 yards. Needed 1st and 10, 1:39 left in the first half. Rowe back to pass. He's being forced out of the pocket there. Now he's going to turn the corner and try to run. He's going to pick up 2, maybe 3 yards on the play before he's forced out of bounds. But Beechwood right now is having very good defensive pursuit, especially Brian Warner, who got a sack earlier in the football game. That time forced Rowe out of the pocket and forced him to run the football game, and he only picked up 3 yards.
Keep that quarterback where he's scrambling, and he eventually won't know which way he's going, and that's what Beechwood was doing there, looking for a receiver, trying to scramble at the same time. He did a good job of getting back to the line of scrimmage because he had good coverage on him.
Yes, he does. And Bellevue, I would have to say, Dave, right now is doing a good job of they're designing their offensive plays to come out wide. Even though the game of football obviously is a vertical game, you have to go up and down the field. They're at least trying to move Rowe out of the pocket so Beechwood cannot circle in on him and circle like vultures and pick up some easy sacks. It's now 2nd and 8. The pitchback comes back to Brian Veach. Veach has Apted in front of him, gets a good block from Apted and rolls up, but it's going to be a clip that time on probably Bobby Ferguson. That time Veach did get a first down, but Apted and Ferguson were leading the way blocking that time for Bellevue, and one of the officials threw down the yellow flag.
Yeah, that could bring the whole thing back. That's usually where a holding or a clip comes in. And, yeah, that's where it was right there, a clip.
Looked like Kevin Apted that time. He was coming from his right tackle position. I'll tell you what, he's a fine player. And as I said, I talked to him earlier in this evening here a couple hours before the kickoff, and he really felt that if his team could get on top first or be very close at halftime, they would have a chance in this football game. They have a lot of confidence for a team that's only 2-5. There are only 2 victories of the year coming in the game we broadcast here on NKPN Sports against the Dayton Green Devils, and the next week here at Bellevue High School they knocked off Hillcrest. But other than that, it's been all L's on the ledger for the Bellevue Tigers, but they've really been struggling, but yet they're a young and a good football team.
coming along, plus new coaching. Got to get used to new ideas. And again, whenever you have a fourth quarter where the game's close, it always favors the underdog because now they feel they can. Whenever you feel you can, you never know.
It's just like that little choo-choo engine. Thinks he can. Finally they do. And Bellevue has a lot of self-confidence, but a big penalty, and penalties have really hurt the Bellevue Tigers in the first half. 1:23 to go in the second quarter. It's third down, 20 yards to go. Bellevue has at times been able to drive the football, but the missed field goal or a big clipping penalty seems to be hurting Bellevue's chances at this time. Clock will get started once Jack Johnson whistles it, and here we go, down to 1:20. It's third down and 20. Rowe's going to be back to pass. He's going to be forced out of the pocket, rolling along left side. He's not going to be able to do much this time. He's going to be forced to run the football, and he won't even get up to the original line of scrimmage, even though he gained 7 yards. So it will now be fourth down and 13 with your score 14-0. Beechwood over Bellevue. We'll be right back.